was expected the child needed the mother. Okay, so logically the child did mama. They divided the work. Earlier the work was done by man and woman together. Who works outside? Okay, the male started going outside and working.
A wonderful person. I've spent a lot of time as a child with her. We have shared a lot of knowledge over a lot of things. Also, by profession, she is an academic leader in academia and administration and a professor of marketing and consumer behavior. She is also my cousin, and we have spent a lot of our childhood together. She has a lot of insight on feminism, which she has come to share.
Our society is such that it does not let such things come to the surface. In schools, in textbooks, we have a very limited information as far as SSC board is concerned. So different boards are for females. There is reservation for other economically backward class in the society. So when we are talking about these reservations, yes, when we started these reservations, it was to bring people up to a certain level. So our children, we are exposed to media so much today. Whatever we see in the media, we feel it's true. Dear moms, make your child a human being first.
Hello everyone. Today I have with me Jaya Dudani, who is my cousin, and we've grown up together. We've shared a lot of our childhood together, a lot more than just normal days. And
yeah, so it's just that we are just not cousins, I would say. She's more than a friend, philosopher, guide to me. She was always mentoring me. I learned a lot of things from her. Okay, and it was a give and take, that a very, very strong bond that we shared.
So why I have her here today is because I feel she is a bhandar of information.
Thank you.
And I feel that this topic, feminism, I wanted to hear from her. I was always very intrigued towards this. I don't know whether the society is doing justice towards this topic. So I just feel ki, we have a lot to discuss.
Right.
I want to know your take on feminism.
So there are a lot of moments that are going on feminism.
Okay,
a lot of things that we hear about feminism. So if you ask me my opinion, I feel that feminism is not about making women stronger, because women are already stronger. Women are very, very strong. Feminism is about recognizing what kind of power that women have in them, okay, and appreciating that power.
But you think it is only for women? Because when this whole movement started...
No. It is about gender equality. Okay, it is about giving equality to everyone, every soul, everyone that lives on this earth. And is a human being.
Yeah, so that is the whole thing. And I believe it started in the 19th century.
No, actually, yeah, we all know about it. The general feeling is that it started in the 19th century, but feminism as such is a very, very old concept. In fact, the person who coined the term feminism, it was done in 1847 to be precise. It was done by Charles Fourier. He is the person who coined the name feminism. Yeah. And how did this concept come up? Let me tell you that. So, in fact, before industrial revolution, the world was a better place to live in, let me tell you that, because everything was done together. Everything was done with their own hands. What happened after industrial revolution? Things which were made by hand started being made by machine. And because these things started being made by machine, people had to go out in an industry and work. And because people went out to industry, so they divided the work. Earlier, the work was done by man and woman together. Okay, so now what happened? The work got divided. The reason the work got divided was there were children in the family, there were males, there were females, and there were adults also. So probably 3 generations were staying together. Yeah. So what was expected is that it was expected the child needed the mother. Okay, so logically the child did mama, and it was like the child has to take care of the mom. So who works outside? Okay, the male started going outside and working, and this led to division of work between men and women. And because women stayed at home, this concept came in where these females slowly were suppressed because they were no longer the bread owners.
but you think that they should have. So that's where basically the equality quotient started, as in. People started feeling that the women especially started feeling that they should also be looked upon equally, given equal rights. But do you think that this is only limited to women? It is not limited to beyond women. Like now that the whole thing, the whole journey has seen everybody talking about women. Feminism means women. But according to me,
No, this is a
it's
myth. This is a myth, very clearly a myth. And a feminist would not only be a woman; it can be a male also who can be a feminist. Okay, and when we are talking about feminism, it is not only protecting or giving rights to women or women empowerment. It is as I said, it is giving rights to every human being that lives on this earth. So whether that is of a the person is of a transgender or any, like recognizing them that they are equal, giving them equality of rights, giving them rights to travel, right to education, right to live the way you are living, and not looking down upon them. Okay, so like suppose if you see, say you're sitting in a restaurant and you're eating food, and probably a transgender enters and in that restaurant to have food with you. So it's that it's this, he's not so special that you need to leave everything and look at him as to who has entered. Otherwise, you
he's
would
human.
not
He's
look
as
at a
human
male
as
or a female entering,
yeah.
right?
He's
So,
as human as you and me,
yes, yes.
and that's how it is supposed to be treated.
It should be normalized.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this whole like, you think with time has it changed? Has things, or it has just become more and more women are taking advantage of it, or
There is, I feel that yes, there is some kind of a advantage also being taken by a section of the society. Okay, so like for example, say if you talk about reservations, okay, reservations in the field of education. So there is reservation for females, there is reservation for other economically backward class in the society. So when we are talking about these reservations, yes, when we started these reservations, it was to bring people up to a certain level. So it is for us to decide when we stop that.
okay, this. So my question is, what about the children in school, the women, when they are budding, when they are growing up? These days, I see very young kids, teenagers talk about feminism. So, do you think that, is it like a subject that is being taught in college, or it has just been, you know, um, like
Yeah, okay, so
the information is correct, like what they're getting from outside, or has it been taught in college? And as in,
so there is, as far as education is concerned, so since we hail from Mumbai, okay, and we follow the Mumbai University, and before that we follow the board. The board is the Vashi board that we follow. So the curriculum is such in schools, in textbooks, we have a very limited information as far as SSC board is concerned. So different boards are there. We have ICSE board, we have CBSE board. So depending upon different boards, some information is being given, but I feel more than that, there should be some kind of workshops or seminars that schools should conduct to educate the people, but then again at the right level. Because when the child is very, very small, okay, and is not able to distinguish between the right and the wrong, if we load him with this kind of an information, this can turn out to be misinformation, because half knowledge is always dangerous.
now that you have spoken about children, you come from a background where you've been teaching and then you principaled the school. So you have a lot of children that you deal with, especially teenage kids. So my question is a little different from, a little away from feminism. Um, do you think, homosexuality, uh, children should be allowed to think, or let them observe themselves? Or how do you think you take this subject up?
I feel that it should be taken very normally. It is not something that is to be hyped, or like, oh my god, that kind of a feeling should not come, because every individual is different. Every individual has got his or her own perceptions or thinking. So let the child go the way he wants to.
Yeah, that is true. But then, how does it happen in college? Do you think that they feel that they have certain traits and then they figure out, नहीं ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, Have you come across any?
No, not any particular case like this. That because our society is such that it does not let such things come to the surface.
Yeah, but it could be like they discover themselves to be something else from what they have.
Possible.
Been.
Possible.
Yeah.
So these guys, suppose if it's a guy, okay, and if probably he is attracted towards the male, towards the males. So what happens in our society? Others call them pansy. Okay, so probably the way he's walking, or his body language, like the way he uses his hands or the way he walks. So it is looked upon not normally. I feel this should not be the case. It should be very normal. If he's attracted towards
The
his
same
own
gender.
same gender, it's normal. It should be considered as normal, not giving him a term or a nickname or
Yeah, because that's God's creation.
yeah.
Eventually, it is just how He has
True.
made this child, and we should appreciate everything that He has created.
Right.
I'm sure He had a plan, right?
Yes.
Right. What about the schools? We spoke about how it is a subject in sociology. Did we speak about that? Did you?
No, no.
Yeah. So how is it? In school, like, do you guys have a subject on feminism?
As far as my knowledge goes, in arts there is a subject called as sociology, and psychology and sociology. I'm sure they cover it up to a certain extent.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but then how do the children, like, I mean, what is the, have you seen anybody reacting very positively or very negatively towards this?
It definitely creates some kind of inquisitiveness in the child, but today there is so much of information explosion. If a child feels anything, so what I feel what he does is that, and everybody has a phone with him or her, or a laptop with him or her. So what child does, he simply goes Google surfing, okay, the meaning of this, the meaning of that. And because of this, probably it can also lead to misinformation, because everything that we read on internet is not necessarily true. So we have to understand, we have to figure out for ourselves as to what kind of material we need to expose the child to, and expose him to only that much information.
And what are the different strategies that you come up with, to make your child understand, make the because when we are dealing at home, we have just one child or two children, but you guys take care of so many children, like hundreds of children in a college or in a school.
Classroom.
So how do you deal with it? Like, every child is different. They could be best of friends, but they are still two different personalities, two different souls that come up with different kinds of thought processes. So how do you deal with it? Is with every child, is it the same, or it is even when, and what about, my question also is, what about girls and what about boys? I mean, have you seen any difference in this whole journey?
Okay. So I'll answer your questions one by one. One is that how is every child is different. The way you tackle A and the way you tackle B is totally different. Like, for example, suppose if a child you give him a task to do. Okay, the way he thinks and does his task is different. Probably somebody else you give that same task, he will look at it differently. We've all heard of this story, everybody knows about it, looking at a glass of water. Okay, somebody says it is half full and somebody says it is half empty, right? If it is half full, so it is your perception. That way every child is different. How we take care of different children, like, for example, say when I'm taking a lecture in a classroom and there are about 120 students sitting in a classroom, so it is like to understand whether this child is understanding what I'm teaching or not is different. Probably you'll have, that is why teachers need to bring themselves up to the level of the child and understand whether the child is understanding or not, and put the concept in such a manner that he grasps it, understands it, and takes it further ahead. As far as girls or boys are concerned, gender studies wise, you cannot say that girls are probably more intelligent or boys are more intelligent. Everybody is equally intelligent. It is how you use your intelligence. Like, for example, suppose say I'm speaking something or I'm teaching something. It is possible that you half listen to me, then you dream, and then you come back, but maybe you are intelligent enough to fill in the blanks as to what ma'am must have said at that particular point of time, and you continue understanding the concept. But there would be another child, probably, he would not be able to fill in the gaps. So what I, as a teacher, probably in a classroom, what I do is that, and I feel that other teachers also should do, is that they should take feedback, or they should keep on asking questions from children in between to understand, are they at their wavelength.
So with this growing thing, initially, like maybe 10 years ago, did you feel that boys were different from now, and girls have actually, come running towards, like, that line just to match up, or to, be together, or get that equal status, equal whatever. So did you feel like that with kids? I'm not talking about our age people, I'm talking about with kids. Have you seen a difference? Like, first girls were more subdued, more timid, more shant, and now that this whole thing is gotten all faster. So did you see any?
There is definitely a lot of difference.
Yeah.
The generation, I would say, today's generation, what we call as the millennial generation, okay, is far more different than what, kids I have seen in my life before. Like, I've been into teaching profession for the past now 18 plus years, okay, and what students I see today, and what I have seen, like, probably 10 years before or 5 years before also, there is a lot of difference, the way
So
they perceive things, the way they look at things,
In the boys or in the girls also?
in the boys and the girls. Like, for example, say a simple thing in college, like, if earlier, like, I would say 15 years back, okay, say there's a classroom, and so it's a co-education college, so we would normally see that the girls would sit in a row, or the boys would sit in some other row. So this was there before, but now it is not like this. Whoever wants to sit wherever they sit, so they don't have that in their mind, that I am sitting with a girl, or I am sitting next to a boy. So that probably is, I
That
feel
division
this,
has been
yeah. So they're thinking
slowly
everything is
disappearing.
normally. It's very, very normal to have, to sit or sit in a library. Otherwise, earlier it used to happen that the girly group used to be separate, and the boys group used to be separate, and or probably, they used to hang around. But now it is like they hang around together, they eat together, they share their tiffins, they study together, they help each other in different projects. So like,
That's so amazing.
for a GD or something, when the projects they have to do, so they would choose their groups in such a manner that, okay, I want to be with her, or I want to be him in my presentation or group. So I feel that, we have moved ahead.
Yeah, and that whole distance is slowly coming to an end.
Yeah.
And I think it is good, because yeah, it's not only good for the children, it is also good for the people around them. Children के लिए I feel कैसे अच्छा है is because एक तो they don't have this thing कि मैं ये नहीं कर सकती या मैं ये नहीं कर सकता. It's वहाँ पे then they learn teamwork, then they learn no discrimination,
Right,
in
right,
any sector.
right.
So it is so, I mean, important.
Yeah. That change has definitely come. Even for college events, when we have committees. So when they form committees, so there would be a committee which is taking care of finance. So they get the sponsorship, etc. There would be a committee which is taking care of the marketing of the event. So they don't think that, okay, I cannot for marketing I can't take a female friend with me. So that does not exist
not
today.
exist,
So even if you are going out on the field to get sponsorship, it's okay to go with a female friend also, or to go with a male friend. But earlier it used to be, the boys are going to take care of the work which is going to be there outside. Like, for example, they have to go to invite other colleges for the fest. Okay, so it would be like earlier. I'm talking about long back. Okay,
And that long
it
back
was the
is-
boys used to do the outside, when the girls used to do the creativity work. So they would be sitting and making charts, or now they make of course everything is gone virtual, so they make these they use these softwares, Canva, etc., to prepare their digital promotion. So what earlier used to be done was these girls used to sit with those colors and the paints and everything, and the boys used to do the run around. But it is not like this now. It is just not like this.
So that means somewhere equality is coming into the picture.
It is.
Not only it's not only on the male and female this, even with transgenders. How do you grade the we have SC/ST class, we have the tribal class, we have so many other categories in our country other than just this. So how does that thing come into the picture? Do you have any insight on that?
Yes, so we have students from other backward class also, and economically weaker sections of the society also. But I feel that this generation does not look down upon them. Okay, they are taking them in their team. They are working together. Whether the child is from economically weaker section or the child is, probably not so, in fact, I have seen this. I have it just came to my mind. We have a division called as BBI, that is Bachelors of Banking and Insurance. There was one female, she, one girl child, she joined us in FY BBI, and at this time, this girl did not have confidence to give a small presentation on the platform of the class. Believe me, when she cleared her TY, okay, during Viva, when they are in the third year, they have to appear for Viva, and there's an external examiner which comes in, and she said she's the smartest of the lot.
Wow.
So that change came in. That change comes in how when we work together, okay, we can bring that transformation. The child who could not speak a sentence, without stopping, and the external examiner who's coming from another college is saying that she is the best of the lot, that's a big.
So like feminism, women empowerment is one more category that I'm very curious about. And since you have been working towards it a lot, so what do you think about how are women empowering themselves? What do you see that they are doing to come out more glamorous, more better, or more with their
So I feel that women empowerment, when it started, it was required, okay, in the sense that, okay, when movements started, or when people started getting into or started thinking about women empowerment, it was, and in a country like ours, in India, it still is the call of the hour. I don't know whether you've watched or not, on 2nd December, okay, there were elections, right, okay, in 3 states. BJP came in, and if you watch the speech of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, okay, he had said, when he came to the stage, he said, मैं नम्रता से नारी का अभिनंदन नारी स्वरूप का अभिनंदन करता हूँ. This is what he said actually, and he bowed down to the woman, and he spoke about Nari Shakti. He spoke about Nari Garima, okay, and he also spoke about women empowerment at that time, and he said women in our country, okay, should be given that taste. It's a very beautiful speech that he gave, and he said that, in fact, it is India election manifesto also, if you read it, how women are going to be a part of it, and where they can take our country to. So women empowerment, I feel, is very important, very, very important. In fact, if you see, 50% of the population in the world, almost 50% of the population, in fact more than 50%, is women. So just think, where will the world reach if women are equal with men? Okay, and every man, I feel, knows it. Yeah. Okay, that if we give that kind of right to women, their rights, till some time back, women did not have a right in the property of their parents, right? Women did not, in some countries, women, you will be shocked to know, even in Germany, okay, till a very, very long time, this law was not there. Okay, law to vote was not there. Okay, so when we give this kind of rights to women, and they get a chance to prove themselves, okay, and they come into power. I'm not talking about only political power or legal power. It is full power. You give those rights, you give those power to women, and you see where the nation goes.
Yeah, so it is basically the women's alpha energy which comes into existence.
Exactly.
And when the alpha energy comes into existence, you know what happens.
This is what is Nari Shakti. Okay. Nari Shakti is basically the power of woman.
Yeah.
And men of today, I feel somewhere deep in their hearts very well know that if we give rise or we give we give
Fuel to this fire.
it is definitely going to be
There's going to be an explosion.
Actually.
But it's amazing because I think, how we were brought up and how the girls are brought up today is very different.
very different.
So where do you think there is a difference?
So in fact, you and me can make a difference,
Yeah.
I feel that if I teach my son to respect a woman, if I teach my son, give equality to women, if I teach, or my husband gives equality to me, this is what my son sees. So charity begins at home, right? So we have to teach our children, our sons. And if we teach our son, this message will go outside. If my husband does not respect me, my son is not going to respect his wife.
True.
Obviously.
True.
Right? In fact, I've been very lucky. My husband loves me a lot and he respects me a lot. I would like to tell you, since we are talking about empowerment, he empowered me with anything and everything I wanted to do. After marriage, I wanted to still study further. So I was already an MBA. I had done my MBA in finance, but I still had that urge to study. So I wanted to become a teacher. So for that, I wanted to do bachelor's of education. So even after having a child, okay, I had my son was 1.5 years old at that time. I joined Bombay's best college, that is Bombay's Teachers Training College. Of course, I appeared for amidst CET and I got a good score and I luckily got into that college, which is in town. Okay, so I studied there. I did this course over there. I had 100% support from him.
Wow.
After I finished my course, I wanted to work. He never stopped me from working. In fact, he encouraged me to work. And if today I tell him that I don't want to work, he will not question me as to why I don't want to work. So this is empowerment, actually, I feel.
Yes.
Doing the woman do what she is comfortable with. He's never forced me on anything. He's never stopped me on anything. Of course, if I'm going wrong, he's guided me.
Wow, lovely. That's nice. So then you think you would like to bring your boys up in the same manner?
Yes, definitely. Even if, like for example, say you have a maid working at home. If I call her Tai or if I call her Didi, my children are also going to talk that way. My son will also probably address her in the same manner. So it is very important to put these values in the children. I would not say right from birth, even before the child is born, so when a woman is pregnant, she goes for prenatal and prenatal classes, etc. So at that time only create that environment in which those vibrations go to the child, and the child, before he comes into this world also, okay, he is not tagged or he is not labeled that he is arey wah ladka hua, oh my god ladki hui. No, not like this.
So even in our last podcast, we spoke about the child being a seed and how the farmer looks after his seed is so beautiful, because only after he takes a lot of care of it, how he plants it, how he germinates it, and how it's going to become a proper tree and is going to give him fruits, depends on how he looks after his seed.
Actually.
So this is what we've been talking about. So now even in the previous podcast, we spoke about the same thing, that your child is, you have to develop it from the seed. Right. And while you're doing that, there is so much to put in from your end. Yes. It's not only education that you give them, there is so much beyond that.
Power of vibrations.
Bilkul. And manifestation.
Yes, 100%. I truly believe, I'm a very, very strong believer of manifestation. Whatever we think happens.
Yes.
Because and that is what we want to happen.
Right. Yes. And that is why we are thinking of.
Actually.
And so that's another big message, that no negative thoughts have to go out there, whether it is your child, whether it is another human being, whether it is a transgender, whether it is anybody any living thing on this earth, because they are all God's creations and they are wonderful creations.
True, true.
Right?
Yeah. Because whatever we think here actually happens. Like for example, suppose if say there's a new product which has come in the market, and if say I am interested in that product, okay, like say I want to buy an iPhone 15. Okay, now what happens the moment this thought comes to me? Say I come across a promotion or an advertisement of it, I look at it, okay, and if I want to buy that particular phone, wherever I go, I see people holding an iPhone 15. It is very, very, very natural. Or if I want that pink color, I try to pick up those people or in front of. So it is the same thing. Whatever we manifest, whatever we think. So if we think women are equal, why should we think कि वुमेन ऐसा कुछ नहीं कर सकती जो आदमी नहीं कर सकता है? वी शुड थिंक आदमी क्या सब कुछ कर सकता है जो औरत
नहीं कर सकती. True.
We have to change the thinking that
True. Another thing, like I heard a very nice story. While you were coming here, did you see any red cars on the way?
I saw red cars.
Yeah?
Yes.
Like, do you have a count of them?
No.
So, what if I told you when you come tomorrow, I will give you 50 rupees for every red car you saw? Would you keep a count?
Automatically. It is
So
very,
that
very
is
natural.
the whole...
Very, very natural.
Yeah.
This is what is manifestation. Whatever we think happens.
Yes. We have to see what we actually... They are all opportunities that we see on our way
Yes.
towards
Yes.
life.
Correct.
Another thing I want to ask you is, in the corporate world, since your husband is in the corporate world, what about you, since you're in the teaching line? What do you think that women are underpaid, or they are not as paid as men, or how does this category, get segregated?
Okay. So here I would like to say depends upon the field. There are certain fields where women are paid, women are considered, or women are wanted. Like for example, say if you take education industry, okay, for a preschool or a play school or a school having younger kids, people prefer to have female teachers.
Okay. And why so?
Why so? Because they feel that they have a mother's heart or a feminine heart is,
Oh, is it? Okay.
so she will be able to take care of the child like a student, like a child.
Oh, lovely.
So,
Okay,
so,
that's
so
the
that
thought
is
process.
basically the idea of having female teachers. And not giving preference to female teachers. Again, talking about gender equality, so it is like that kind of what as I said, what is it that the men cannot do what women can do? Okay, so probably the way they handle the child, okay,
It's
the
far
way
more
they
different.
The tone, the way they talk to the child, they're more soft hearted. So that places a female would be preferred to a male. Okay, but as far as you climb higher in the education ladder, okay, like say you're talking about graduation or post graduation courses, okay, nowadays for most of the management colleges and post graduation colleges, we prefer in fact people from the industry, okay, so that they can come and share industry experience. They can come and talk to when they're teaching the children or the elder kids, they are actually talking them practically what is happening outside or what is the demand outside. So this is where more males are employed. I'm not saying that females are not there they are also there, but then how they are coming, they want to actually come and teach also that way. That makes a difference.
But what about their their salaries or the packages that they get? Are they different between female and male?
In India, not really.
No?
Because I'll tell you why. Because we are like the teachers are paid according to the pay commission, which is by the government. Okay, I'm talking about the government schools and the government colleges. Okay, so we have the 7th pay and the 8th pay commission. So they decide that if you have this much of experience, then this is going to be your salary bracket.
Okay.
So that way, injustice cannot be done with females, I feel over there. But yes, private schools, private colleges, they have their own. It is up to the management. It is up to the management and their thinking.
Okay, so this was about the teaching job. But what about other categories? Other job categories? Do you think women are paid less? Suppose a male and a female are pitching for the same job, and are they given different packages?
I don't know about different packages, but opportunities, yes. There are probably, there are certain
Fewer.
fields where specifically, like say into sales, or when you're into hardcore sales. I feel that the corporate, they would I don't know, I don't have experience of it. They would prefer a male, because they would feel ki, like, say if she is not able to meet her targets, and if you tell her anything, so it should not be that she starts crying or something.
Acha.
So probably the opportunity,
But does that happen?
I really don't know.
No. I
Not
mean, okay.
Not true.
How is the government supporting the women? How is the government doing?
Oh, government is doing a lot of things for women. Okay, I had read this article in Economic Times. I think it was 19th or 20th of November. I don't remember, last 15 days back. It was about Swanidhi Se Samruddhi. Okay, this was by our finance minister. Sitaraman madam. So she was promoting one scheme, or she was speaking about a scheme called as entrepreneurship, where loans are being advanced to female entrepreneurs. So government is doing a lot. So even when Modi government came in, they promised simple things like cylinders, simple things like electricity, simple things like water supply to so many houses, right? Okay, which did not have. There were houses where cylinders were not there. So after cylinders came in these homes, these females, these women were much more relaxed, because earlier they had to go and fetch
For those stuffs and
firewood from their
right.
and they had to come back, and then they had to go fetch water, and then come back and then cook or clean or do the household chores. Okay, so with this government coming in, definitely this relaxation being given to the women.
So the basics have been taken care of, so that they get more time to look at other aspects,
Right.
which they feel they can excel in.
Actually.
Right. So about feminism now again, women and other categories. How is the government helping them excel? Have you seen any changes in transgenders getting more opportunities, are getting more in whether it is the teaching line or any other category, what they feel they can do? You think the government is helping them?
I'm sure government must be doing something for them also. Okay, not any particular case where I can speak about now. But since we are talking about feminism and government is into it, I'm sure that every category is being taken
care of. And but nothing that you know of.
No, nothing that I can share with data.
And in the modern world, I have heard this word from the modern society, the women of the modern society. It's less used in categories other than them. What do you think? Is it like a protest that they're coming up with, or I see children, girls, teenagers speak about it a lot these days. Is it like a protest they've come up with, or is it imbibed somewhere? How is it going? I mean, where do you think it is going? Is it only for the modern world, this name feminism, or it also helps the other categories? I mean, how what do you think?
Help meaning like helping whom in what, like?
So help meaning they don't have, they are not saying feminism and making it a big deal, which the other societies are. Okay, they are taking advantage of
Undue
a lot in-
advantage is it is always there. So see, all our five fingers are not the same, right? So we cannot say that whatever is coming for the benefit of a people or a gender will only be limited to advantage only. Okay, undue advantage is always taken care of.
Yeah, so what do you think are the negatives of this?
Can
Of
be.
this, yeah.
Negatives can be, so there has to be a limit set on everything.
But that's your take on it.
Yeah, my take on it is that there has to be a limit set on everything. Okay, but I don't see a limit being set.
Right?
Right.
Yeah, because that's what I mean. You can see it. Like earlier, it was one category that was speaking about it. Now it's more like every child who's turning into a teenager is also getting into it. So how is it? According to you, how is it going?
So, and as I said, that undue advantage is being taken and can be taken, but to what extent depends case to case.
Case to case. Nice, lovely. Uh, what are your views about the male kids now? Okay, how are they taking feminism? So are they getting a little, when the women are getting more empowered and more, they're coming out stronger and with a bigger force? Have you seen a change?
Are you talking about insecurity in the male?
Yes.
Okay, so it all depends upon the background of the child. Okay, so like if as I told you, information can be misinformation. Okay, can be taken in a wrong manner also. So if this information on feminism is being handled by somebody who's educated in the right manner, he takes it rightly.
Positive.
Okay, so there are certain sections in the society till to even today, believe me, there are some, I have come across such female students also who probably, like say having a KT or something, or not having, few rupees to complete their fees, only would say, madam, can you do something for us, like, can you, finance me for my fees, otherwise my father will stop my education.
So that still happens.
That still happens. So it all depends upon what category, what background category are you talking about. So talking about rural areas, feminism is considered differently. Urban areas, other sections of the society, you cannot just have it's not a formula 2 plus 2 4. It is not like this.
So what do you, how do you explain this whole thing? So the children in the rural area and children in the urban area, how do you explain this whole thing? Like what are the things that you have seen?
So there is something called as male ego, sometimes it gets hurt probably, and more so in the rural areas, who cannot probably bear it or see their females grow beyond themselves.
And you think empowerment is lacking over there big time?
Yeah, because they know that if their females go out and work, they will be nowhere, and they don't want to come under her, probably. So that is why they are not giving her a chance to come up.
But that's very rude, right?
It is very rude and it is very sad, but it exists in our rural societies. It
Yes.
exists in our rural societies, yes.
But you haven't seen that a lot in metropolitans.
No,
And
not in metropolitan area, because here most now with the way education is going today, okay, almost you would see that most of us at least have a primary education. Okay, with the poorest of the poor also, okay, has primary education. Because they are educated, they have the understanding as to how to think. How to think gets developed with education.
True.
So it is very important that each and every child who is born comes at least till secondary education. Okay, the new education policy, which is going to probably
launched.
float from next year. Okay, that is what we are expecting it to be implemented from 24-25. Now with this, the system is going to change. Now what is the system going to be? It is going to be 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. Okay, like how
Right.
we have 10 plus 2 now. Okay, so it's going to be 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. So the child, when he will be 3 years old, okay, this is the time when his education will start.
Okay.
So he will do his your 5 meaning till second standard, second, first, senior KG, junior KG and play school. This is your 5.
Okay.
Okay, then third, fourth, fifth is your plus 3.
Plus 3. Right.
Okay, so I feel at least the child should complete 5 plus 3 plus 3, if not plus 4.
Right.
If this will happen, if the child will come till, I think he will be mentally sorted to understand what is right and what is wrong. Okay, it is like more hands to work rather than more mouths to feed.
Right.
So when this is accepted and females are educated, it should not be that only you send your sons to schools for education. No, you have to send your daughters also to school.
But the world is getting there somehow, where if there are less hands to work in a family, it's becoming difficult to survive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's where a lot of people are getting
because of
involved.
inflation, because of
Yeah.
expectations, because
Yeah.
of set standards of living which people
Right.
have in their minds.
Right.
Okay, so they need more money at their disposal, so they have to work.
True.
And if you want to work good, you have to be educated. There is no other.
There's a very thin line between being literate and educated.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah. So what? How do you, explain to our viewers for that? Because everybody who is literate
Is not educated.
Yeah.
Okay, literacy it's just if you are rote learning and just giving the exam and then finishing vomiting up in the exam, you're literate. If you're educated, you're understanding the concepts. This is the reason. Also, I would say that this new policy is coming in because here the policy is going to focus on concepts rather than rote learning. Okay, so we learned that in this particular year this battle was fought in, this was the person who fought the battle against this person and they won. So this is not how education system should be.
Right.
There should be logic that should be provided so that the child is able to sort things mentally and remember, and that learning will be lifelong learning.
But I have seen a lot of literate people doing the most uneducated thing, throwing garbage, talking rudely, breaking rules,
Yes.
screaming for no
Yes.
reason,
Yeah.
and many more.
Yeah.
Many, many
I
more.
agree.
Worst of all is smelling bad. Right? And now with growing, awareness, these things are coming into control.
Right.
But still, I feel,
Yeah, it is true.
yeah,
True.
है ना?
But I feel that you should ideally see a change. When after this our first batch graduates. So, say 15 years from now, you will definitely see a change because the way education is going to make an impact.
Wow.
Okay, so it's just not going to teach A for apple. Okay, this is an apple and this is A
Red
for
and
apple.
this is-
okay. So this is it is red in color.
Yeah.
So no, this is not the way education should happen.
Works.
So these changes are coming.
They are, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So when these changes come in right from the beginning, when a child is a child, okay, and his slate is blank, so whatever you write on it gets written, right?
Right.
So when these changes in education will come, definitely there will be.
So you would want to tell those moms how to not differentiate between the male child and the female child and start this whole journey at the very beginning. Would you like to give them, like, I want a nice, beautiful, long message where you cover everything that a mother should do, because at the end of the whole thing we've realized that it's, whether it is feminism, empowerment, or any other thing that you want to teach your child, it starts from the seed.
Yes.
So what would you like to tell
I would
all the moms there who have either female kids, male kids, or both? More challenging.
Yeah, more
Then, yeah.
I would like to say, dear moms, make your child a human being first. Okay, it is very important to be a human being rather than being a son or a daughter. It is very important to understand why you have come in this world. That is what is the difference between a human being and animal. What is the difference? God has given us here something, a mind to think why we are existing in this world. If you teach your child that from day one, definitely you'll make a change in the world. And there was a very beautiful advertisement on this. I don't know, I don't want to quote the brand name, but the advertisement was on washing machine. Okay, and what they show in their scenario is that there are clothes. There's a heap of clothes. There is a machine. There's a washing machine powder. A male, a son and a daughter. And what the mother does is that smartly she takes the name of the child and says, say XYZ, give me that cloth. Okay, just put it in that machine. Okay, give me that cloth. Okay, put it in the machine. That way she slowly ensures that gets him to put all the clothes in the machine. Later on the machine, later on pick up the washing machine powder and also put it in the machine and run the machine. So what do they show in this advertisement, and what is the advantage? They have broken the stereotyping. What do I mean by stereotyping? Understanding that this work is only for females. No, even males can do it. So this is what the moms need to, educate their child in a very positive manner. Not that, okay, I'm making you do that work. Do it in a playful manner, do it in a nice manner. Rather, and this starts, because we are exposed, our children, we are exposed to media so much today. Whatever we see in the media, we feel it's true.
Yes.
Okay, and we try to imitate
Imbibe,
it.
yes.
So this has to probably, media can make a lot of difference in
Right,
this.
right.
They can have such creativity in their advertisements where they are probably, it's making it very normal, rather than having, in an advertisement saying that Kanta Bai, why don't they have, Kamlesh Bhai instead of Kanta Bai washing
Yes.
your utensils.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so what I'm trying to say is that we can make a change. It is you, me, we all can make a change.
Yes.
It has to come within the hearts of everybody. It's not just the Prime Minister telling us that women empowerment hona chahiye, nari shakti hai. No, it has to come from within, from all of us. Because feminism is very beautiful. It is a very beautiful concept, and it is there here within us.
Right.
That equality, giving everybody that kind of a status,
Yes.
is within us. And we can make a difference, I'm sure.
Yeah, we can. One last question, or one last message that you would, I would want you to share with the viewers is, again, your little take on feminism.
My?
Little take on feminism.
Okay. So,
It is an equality. Like, how do you feel that it should be treated as equal?
treat everybody equal. It's not only the females. Take the entire society as equal, not only socially, but even legally, politically. We should take everybody as equal. Give them those rights which they are, which are their rights. Give them their rights. Let everybody live their own life. Every individual is different. Stop judging people, first of all. Okay, you don't have to judge people. You don't have to comment on people. Let them live their lives.
Yeah, true. And women especially, please give them their rights in property. Very important.
Very, very important.
They are equally a child as much as the male child. It's a very important message for all the parents out there, and we would like to end it here. Thank you so much for having us over. Thank you so much for even listening to us. Please like, share, and subscribe to us, viewers. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for calling me here. I'm honored.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.